My phone died. Shalom, y'all. Salutations to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yoshai. Shalom to you real sisters out there. Shout out to all of y'all. I'm going live, cause, continuing. I'm continuing. Hey, this is like a live announcement of regime change is coming to this earth. Operation Israelite Freedom is underway. And we have sent many prophets, many messengers out there to tell you of these things, and now it is finally going to come to pass. Kala Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Whereas thou sawest, okay, I already read that. Yeah, I was going into how you devil's kingdom is already divided, and so just by that alone, that the kingdom it has an end. Just by that fact alone, being divided, this way, and also Satan versus Satan, Egyptians versus Egyptians, because this is the new Egypt. Egyptians versus Egyptians. You're the men of your confederacy, the men that eat thy bread. They're gonna lay a wound under thee, because these EU nations, they're tired of you American devils, pushing them into war and shit, pitting them against Russia, making them fight for these so-called Jews. And World War III is gonna be the final straw. Damn, man, Salakia. World War III is gonna be the final straw. The last straw, the nails in the coffin for this place. These missiles, they gonna burn this place down. They gonna nail it to the ground, man. These missiles gonna it's gonna be over with. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai is also gonna take shots at this place. The angels are gonna take shots at this place as well. Airstrikes with concentrated fire beams. That's also coming to this place. The angels gonna add fuel to the fire. I open the book, open the Bible, 100,000 Salakia, 100,044 place. That's the spirit. 100, actually on the 100, on page 1,444 and 3, on that page, that's the spirit. Let's see, 144:3. Hold up. 144:3. I wasn't even trying to get that scripture. I'm trying to get hold up. I'm trying to get that passage. Hold up, Salakia. I was going into Daniel, and there's something else that came to mind that I was going to bring out. Shalom, Akwad, Yahbashim Yahushai Barakatah. I'm I'm going live to announce that Operation Israelite Freedom is underway, and regime change is OIF, Operation Israelite Freedom, is underway, and regime change is coming to the earth. Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of the next. That is the regime change. Called Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yahweh Shem Yahushai been setting up a kingdom. Verse 44, been setting up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, where it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Shall stand forever. So you devils, you're losing your power forever. You're being taken down out of power forever, and you're never gonna get your rulership back. Neither is any other heathen nation. None of y'all are gonna get your rulership back. Not only are we being liberated, we're being restored to our rightful place as the rulers of this world. Verse 45, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God had made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Yahweh Shem Yahushai has been sending you devils and you heathens messengers, as well as to Yasharallah, warning our people of what's to come, warning you heathens of what's to come, telling our people to get ready. Well, only one third of the captives are gonna be delivered. The rest of y'all, y'all deserters. You 2/3, y'all traitors, y'all deserters. So y'all actually jump ship and join the enemy. So y'all are gonna be destroyed with the enemy, since you choose to take the side of the enemy. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is gonna destroy y'all as well. Everyone that is found joined unto them shall be pierced through. That's for Isaiah chapter 13, verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Both by the countries, the nations that you devils think are your allies, that they eat your bread, they sit at your table, eat your bread, they are gonna turn on you. And even your own brothers, your own blood is gonna turn on you. Y'all are fighting a losing battle against Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Cause not even your own kind is with you. And they'll realize at the last minute and try to unite, but it's gonna be too late. Because all of y'all, your hands are, your arms are too short to box with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You don't have the technology. You don't have the manpower. You don't have the weaponry. You can't. Your weaponry is like a toy gun coming against a real gun. You're using a toy gun, a water gun, against a pistol or a bazooka. That's what it can be compared to. It's ridiculous. You have no chance. You have no chance against chariots that can turn on a dime. They can jam your communications, jam your signals, cause your little toy planes to fall from the sky. Yahweh Shai is all, and his chariots, his fleet of chariots, the cavalry, namely the biggest one, the fathership, is also spoken of in 2nd Esdras chapter 13. But even though it speaks of Zion as a whole, the 1/3, that monument, it also speaks of the fathership. It has two meanings. And it came to pass after 7 days, verse 1, I dreamed a dream by night. Verse 2, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. Verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that was seen under him. So y'all heathens, y'all shook. Y'all already shook, because Yahweh Shai is coming back with the thousands of heaven. And he is raising his people back up, them dead bones coming back together and becoming that standing army. Becoming that exceedingly great army. It makes you shake in your boots, and we know that. We know that the two witnesses rising back up, the northern and southern kingdom, has y'all heathen shook out here. Verse 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. So whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice. That's talking about both the concentrated fire, the concentrated heat that is going to be shot at you devils and heathens, and also the when the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai go out there and they condemn this place, and they prophesy the downfall of this place. It's like, the words in their mouth, they're like fire. This is a twofold thing. See, we're Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's psychologically taking down this place. He's spiritually taking down this place. Economically, all that. So, which leads to all that. Leads to this place being taken down economically, and then he is going to physically take down this place. He is taking down your queendom in stages. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a man of war. He is he is using a perfect strategy to take down you devils. You devils think you do something whenever you spread propaganda about some other country, and you're like, both inside the country and in America, but y'all ain't got no match for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, who's coming out with the truth of coming out with the truth, um exposing you devils, exposing what y'all do, the inner workings of your system, all your wicked deeds, exposing them to the whole world, and waking up the prisoners of war that you have in your possession, the Israelites, his chosen people you have in your possession, and it has been exposed. So first he is exposing your disinformation campaign that you all have waged against Yasharallah, his chosen people. He's exposing that for everybody to see it's a lie. He is even making your own people's tongue fall upon themselves and snitch on you. Because the reason why we are under your captivity is because we are under the curses, and now they're falling on y'all. Hey, man, I was inspired, to do this live because I was watching Elder Kazak's live where he was going into basically these different movies, showing. And then they get their inspiration from the scriptures, and one of them is the third kind, encounters of the third kind, where they have that chariot that's the color of amber, right? Look like the description of a chariot in Ezekiel, and also Indiana Jones. And the crystal skull. Oh shit. Yeah, my phone is acting up. Indiana Jones and the crystal skull. Which they basically mean the truth. Truth being very valuable, like crystal skull. Us getting our identity back and all that. And once it was returned to where it belonged, it happened to be in the Amazon, where the tribes are at. Asher's over there. It was linked to the Incas, Inca pyramids. They the tribe of Asher. And there was a chariot under it. And that's where it was 13 skeletons sitting on thrones. Symbolic of Yahushua and the 12 disciples sitting on thrones. And also 12 tribes, sitting on thrones ruling the world. And I was inspired because that's Valley of the Dry Bones, man. And that's our people waking up to their true identity. That's a war tactic that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is using against you devils. Because you devils brainwashed our people. You devils you didn't brainwash our people. That's actually, you polluted our brain with ideas that we are so-called black, Latino, Native American. We are these different nations and countries we were scattered to throughout the four corners of the earth, because you other heathen nations also took part in our downfall, and you'll also have us as prisoners of war. The alliance detailed in Psalms 83. Psalms 83. which is, let me find it. Psalm chapter 83. Psalm 83. All this alliance of nations that took part in our downfall. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Verse 7. Gebal. Edom, the so-called white people, which are actually pink. And the Ishmaelites, you so-called Arabs of Moab, you so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, you so-called Africans that are the original Egyptians. That Watusi tribe down in Sudan. Y'all the original Egyptians, and y'all know it. Y'all can trace your ancestry back to them. Gebal, more Egyptians, more Hamites, so-called Africans. And Ammon, that's you so-called Japanese. Amalek, so-called Jews. Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, more Hamites. Philistines also come from Mizraim, the same man that is a progenitor of the Egyptians. With the inhabitants of Tyre, the Canaanites. Y'all, all of y'all, which y'all are Hamites, all of y'all had a role in bringing our people down. This is the enemy alliance. This is that crafty counsel. Psalm 83, verse 3. They have taken, verse 2. They have for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Making noise against them, plotting against us. Thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4. So they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones, because we are hidden among these other nations. Our identities have been hidden from us. Verse 4. We are called all types of bywords. And that was a war tactic. Make us forget who we were. Make us forget why we're there. Make us forget, our mission. All of that. So we would go off. We would continually be on the bad side of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That is why y'all did it. We would assimilate. We would forget we was prisoners of war. They have verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. This alliance, this is the true axis of evil, headed up by none other than you so-called white people. Amalek, y'all really at the head of all this. The true axis of evil, the Psalm 83 alliance, the Psalm 83 conspiracy against our people. Yahushai coming back to take down the true axis of evil, led by the wicked themselves. And he has already woken up the captives, He has been waking up the captives to who they are. First of all, to the fact that they are captives in this land, and it's not their rest, according to Micah 7 verse 10. Salakia. Actually, it's another verse. I believe it's Micah 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a soul of destruction. Khan call Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It's all through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Our people being waking up, to their true identity and everything. The reason why they're here, who their enemy is, everything. Getting them ready to be delivered. And those that don't listen, those that don't take heed, the 2/3 that have jumped ship, they're gonna be destroyed along with the enemy, because they are a part of the enemy. Kind of call out Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All praises that I'm not I'm not walking around thinking that I'm either so-called Irish or Latino. That I'm not thinking I'm those bywords. This truth, it's something beautiful. It's some Yapa. That's what I thought I was. I actually thought before coming into this truth that I was so-called Irish and as well as Latino, because I thought that your mom could determine your race. I was taught by this devil that your mom determines your race as well as your dad. That you can be a human pie chart, which is complete madness. It's complete garbage that they teach in these schools, where they indoctrinate us, the prisoners of war. That's that Jewish nonsense. Your mom can determine your race. That's science falsely so called. And science falsely so called. You're everything under the sun. You're all the nations under the sun. That makes no sense. That's so you don't realize who you really are. That's the covering cast. The more you know. Ignorance is not bliss, because your 2/3 are about to be in a lot of pain, because the man that you thought was your friend did no longer have racial hate towards you. You're gonna find that his rust had not been altogether done away with. That he's actually planning to get rid of y'all. He's been plotting to get rid of y'all. Use you to build up his kingdom and then get rid of y'all. and keep you going off, so you will never get on back on the right side of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Esau, that's what he does. That is his MO. Divide and conquer. That's Esau's MO. And that is a part of it. If he could deceive the very elect, he would. But the joke is on you devils, because this is how it was meant to go down anyways. Only an elect was meant to be delivered, because these 2/3, they ain't right. They traitors on this side. Believing. I'm trying to find that verse, science falsely so-called verse, which is a part of that Babylonian wine propaganda that our people have been fed. Verse 20, 1 Timothy 6 verse 20, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings, which is exactly what this is. For example, think of if you go to a so-called college or university and you go before one of these professors, that is a profane and vain babbling that you're listening to. A profane and vain lecture. And oppositions of science, falsely so-called. It's pseudoscience. That's what these devils teach you in these in the fool system, to keep you a fool. Timothy chapter 1 verse 4. That's why you need to give heed to fables. That's what they teach you. And endless genealogies, which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith so do. So they minister questions, they raise questions, but they don't answer them. They cause confusion. That is the fool system. I heard a brother call it the fool system, and it stuck. The fool system to keep you jakes, and also the disposable members of his own race, and the heathen, the throwaways, 2-time losers of Esau, Edom, and the heathen also keep them fools as well, because they don't know a damn thing either. I'm gonna get that covering cast. The scripture that talks about that covering cast, which is Esau's propaganda war that he's waged against everybody, especially our people, but also his own. Covering cast. Let me look that up. And I will destroy in this mountain the covering cast. It's Isaiah 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So there you go. It's telling you right here, this covering cast, this veil that has been put over all the nations is going to be destroyed. This propaganda, these lies, the veil, the wool that he pulled over our eyes, the veil that, it's like, think of it this way. Basically keep our people blind. Keep our people blind, and only those that have the eye salve, they can see past this man's covering cast. Only Israelites with the eye salve, because it's only given to Israelites. Only Israelites with the... Hey, part of his deception is that it's given to everybody, and it's not. Only Israelites with the eye salve can see that they're not so-called black, that they're not African American, which is the name of two land masses named after so-called white men. The Edoms, it's a lie. That Latino is a byword. Latino, there's no such thing as Latinos. Actually, when you look into it, go back to Ladinos, which was a so-called Negro slave that could speak Spanish. It goes back to that. And then what did they do? They also attached that name to the northern kingdom of Yasharallah, because they're the same people. They were also they were Israelite slaves who could speak Spanish. That's a Ladino or a Latino. That is another byword. That is another byword that was put on our people. And that Native Americans are really Native Israelites from the tribe of Gad. This was not your first land, or y'all did not come from Siberia. That's another lie by these devils. Just like Esau Edom lies and says that the southern kingdom comes from Africa and is Hamites. The Esau also lies and says that the tribes, the northern tribes, they come from Siberia. And that you so-called Latinos are a cross between his people and the Siberians, and even Southern Kingdom. That y'all are just a mixed bag, which there is no such thing as that. That's the covering cast that's being destroyed. Y'all is being exposed that y'all are the Northern Kingdom. You so-called Latinos. Y'all are the Southern Kingdom. You so-called blacks. You so-called Haitians, and you West Indians, as well as you scattered brethren. It's being exposed that Israel was scattered to the four corners of the earth, and does not just look one way or another. In fact, hey man, today it actually came out that there was slave ships taking so-called Mayans to Cuba to work in sugarcane fields as slaves. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68 also applies to the Northern Kingdom. also applies to the so-called Latinos and natives as well. More proof is coming out that y'all were put on slave ships. No, it's not just a so-called black thing. That is a part of the covering cast as well. That only so-called blacks were taken as slaves. And that it didn't happen to anyone else. It is to divide the tribes against each other. When all tribes, even scattered brethren, even speckled birds, you had different speckled birds that was put on slave ships as well. And in fact, so-called blacks didn't just come from the west coast of Africa. They was being put on ships, being shipped over here from Europe as well. In fact, the first slave ships came from Spain and Portugal. This is all being exposed for everyone to see. Oh, Shalom Akwad. Yahweh Shem Shai Brakatah. Operation Israelite Freedom is underway. Regime change is coming to the earth. These devils are about to go down. That's why they're so shook. And chariots are making their appearances. More and more. You know, which means, hey, has to be that the fathership is close by. There's so many appearances of these chariots. So that deliverance is coming, you know, and Esau's queendom has been getting taken down in different ways. Spiritually, then psychologically, then economically, and then finally it's gonna be physically. That's how Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, he a man of war. And his strategy for taking down this queendom and this devil and these heathens is working perfectly. All according to plan. In fact, let me get that. Exodus 15 verse 3. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is a man of war. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is his name. He's a man of war. That's what these devils done. They underestimated Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. They thought they was doing something, putting that covering cast over us. But, you know, what they have done to our people, it has been undone. It's being undone. The curses, all that was a result of the curses that were put on our people for disobedience. They're being undone. And instead, this is happening. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. And Yahweh, thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them which that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You know, he gonna put all these curses. He's putting all these curses upon these devils, so that their eye is evil against each other. You know, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he even does divide and conquer better than these devils. Hey, he put it in their mind to do that, you know, through the left-hand side. But, you know, that's how these devils are falling. They are being divided and conquered. The eye is turning evil against each other. They're, you know, all these curses are coming upon them. All these curses that are written on here. Which in the slavery curse is gonna be the last one, you know, and the curses are gonna pursue them, and they're gonna destroy them. These devils will be destroyed by these curses. There's no deliverance for you devils, and you heathens, y'all always gonna be under our rule. You know, we got next, and we got last. That's second Esdras 6 verse 9. Starting off at 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt, or between the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, ask thou not. You know, so Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And you know something else? Verse 6 say, then that I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other by me also shall they be ended, and by none other. So Yahweh, you know, through his son Yahweh Shai, he created all these things. All these things, even the wicked, for the day of destruction. Even though that those vessels to dishonor, they were created for that specific purpose. No. Hold on. Yeah. As Romans chapter 9 verse 21, had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Verse 22, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? You know, because these devils have been allowed to go on for a while, you know. You know, it's make them think that, they got it like that. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahshai never gonna do nothing to us. In fact, he's like one of us. That's what these devils think. But, hey, nothing can be further from the truth. Verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So, he hates you devils. And he created you for that reason, to be a vessel unto dishonor. And also what verse 17 say, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So you devils were set up. Y'all thought y'all was doing something, but y'all was set up the whole time. This is an ambush. Another war tactic. This whole deal y'all think y'all have, it's really a trick bag, like the apostles put it. It's an ambush. It's an okie doke. Cause y'all are y'all being built up just to be smashed. Y'all been built up actually just to be smashed to pieces. Just like Pharaoh was built up just to be smashed to pieces. Just so Yahweh Shem Yahushai, just so he glorify his name, the son Yahushai. His name, he was the son Yahushai. He was involved in plaguing the Egyptians and taking them down as well. The Lord was with us. As the elder Kazak brought out, I watched his live before I went live. It was actually my inspiration why I'm going live on this, because actually this came to mind, This is Operation Israelite Freedom, Chariots, the cavalry coming back. Yahushua sending the cavalry to rescue us from these devils. And he's destroying their queendom. He's destroying their queendom, and and taking them down from power. Regime change. There you go. Regime change. Hey, the leaders of the regime, they can go into hiding in their bunkers. And Yahushua, he's gonna send his hunters who were fishers before. We're gonna send his hunters to hunt them down, like they say that SEAL Team 6 did to Osama, which is bullshit, but this is gonna be real. You devils are gonna be hunted down and dragged out of wherever you went to hide. You go into them underground bunkers, to hide from the wrath of the Lamb. You go there and you're just saving yourself for slavery, for captivity. It's Revelation chapter 6, verse 15. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every freeman hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. Verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? But joke's on y'all, because y'all preserving yourself to be prisoners of war, the new prisoners of war. And y'all preserving yourself for 1,000 years of hard labor, followed by summary execution by fire. Because He ain't gonna acquit the guilty. He ain't gonna acquit the wicked. Hey man, Amos chapter 9, which was first addressed to our people, because we was going off, we was being wicked as fuck in the land, doing all types of wickedness. We was on that bullshit, so we was put under the curses. We couldn't get away from them. We fought hard too, but it didn't matter. We still went down. Y'all will still go down. Y'all fight, but y'all will surely drink of that cup. Amos 9 verse 2, because this is the point right here. Though they dig unto hell, then shall my hand take them. Then space, you try to go to your space hotels, you ain't gonna make it. The chariot's gonna intercept you. You go down there, he's gonna send his hunters, his elect. He's gonna send his elect to come get y'all. Though they hide themselves in the top of caramel. Even if you hide yourself on these mountains, like you have little facilities like that, little Batman type facilities, because y'all are Batman. Hey, Superman and Bane coming for your ass. I will search and take them out thence, and though they be hid from thy sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So, even though y'all go in the bottom of the sea, you think you're slick, hiding from Yahweh and his son Yahushai and his elect men. Well, guess what? Yahweh got a pet. His name is Leviathan. And he may have already made an appearance. I heard of that video. I actually saw that video where the ice was being broken, but it was being broken from the bottom. And then you saw a creature, rise to the surface a little. It don't look kind of like a whale, but could be. Hey, has a whale done that before? I don't think so. Could be Leviathan. He's making his appearance. He's starting to show himself. Starting to be woken up. So that he could do his job. And Yahweh can sick him. Yahweh can sick him on you Edomites, you heathens. Hey, even you 2/3 are gonna feel his wrath, because he also shoots out sparks of fire from his nose. I mean, he's gonna be used to take y'all down as well. That's another weapon of Yahweh. Is these beasts, the biggest one being Leviathan. This is why I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. So either way, you elites are through. Y'all are fighting a lost cause. Y'all are actually. Y'all have lost before you even fought it. Before you even fought the war. Really, it's gonna be a massacre. Not even a fair war, but hey, you want to pick the fight. So that's what you're gonna have. You mess with the apple of Yahweh's eye. You miss with his chosen people, his woman, Yasharallah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's declaration of war against Yahweh and against his son Yahweh Shai. Y'all have declared war. And so that's what y'all gonna have. And so everybody talks about, oh, who gonna win? Well, people talk about, oh, who gonna win World War III? You know, we have World War III. Who gonna win World War III? The Russians, Babylon, which you'd be a damn fool to think that. The Chinese, who gonna win World War III? Like, who got next? And the answer is none of these countries, none of these heathen nations got it. It's actually gonna be won by decisive victory by Yahweh Shai. He's gonna win it. He's gonna win the final battle of World War III. Oh, yeah, this is Job chapter 41 about Leviathan, by the way. You know, it really goes into how he's like. This is one of the key weapons in the arsenal of the Most High Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with the hook, or his tongue with the cord which thou lettest down? Verse 2. Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with the thorn? Verse 3. Will he make supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Verse 4. Will he make a covenant with thee? Will thou take him for a servant forever? Because Esau, Edom, you know, he likes to put these animals in zoos and aquariums, right? And in so-called sanctuaries, you know, they're basically cordoned off by fences or some kind of barrier, you know, so they're still in captivity. It's just, you know, it's just like an open air prison. You know how these devils do. But are you going to be able to do that to Leviathan? You know, these are all rhetorical questions, because of course you ain't going to, these devils, man, ain't going to be able to do it. Leviathan, he too big and too bad. Verse 5. Will thou play with them as with a bird, you know, so you going to make them a pet? My phone dying. Bruh. That phone died too fast. Oh, Mom.